So, was my ex-husband a narcissist? Is this true that rich people take decisions really fast, or do we need to listen to the moon and so on before we make decisions? How does wealth come together with spirituality? Can we bridge the practical and the mystical realms? So all of these conversations have been happening in my field, and I would love to dive into with you as I am emerging out of my massage experience and feeling so blessed, so happy to be in this body. Can we just acknowledge this for a moment? What a privilege it is to be in this body, to have this human experience. Do you ever look back at your life and you're like, yes, I had to go through those struggles. Yes, I had to get lost and confused, but gosh, am I so grateful. Do you have those moments? Because you should. Because truly we get to bless it all. We get to bless the present, we get to bless the past, we get to bless our struggles, we get to bless our future, and just embrace it all and love it all. And you know, this massage, it's like everyone has to do it. Like if you are in Lisbon, I have a girl for you. She is just like, you know, like not like massage, that I love this kind of, you know, where we just really caress ourselves, and we do that in an intimate setting with a beloved or that. But this kind of fascia, like when they really get dirty with your body, oh, this is so good. This is so good. This just unlocks this tension that the body tends to enter into. Being a human is, you know, being in contraction. This is what we sign up for. So there are various ways how we can be undoing this contraction. And I'm kind of flowing. But I want to actually speak about this contraction and what does it actually mean to release ourselves from contraction in a really, really profound way? Like, what is that one bullet that kills it all? Like, that's where we're going. And that's what Sundari Temple, my core offer, is all dedicated to. Like, this is a temple. My whole work is a temple. You come into this temple to experience unity with the divine. Whenever you work with me, you're not working to fix a certain problem. This is not the level on which I work. You come in to access divine union. This is not just a quick fix that is just done and you're good. This is a dedication. This is a life's path, a path of transformation where you choose to go into the totality, the infinity that you are. And this, from here, I will explain exactly how all these problems I mentioned at the beginning, how they get to be solved so easily. So easily. So you enter into that state of divine union. What does that actually mean? It's not just an experience that you may have with a medicine or some heightened, stimulated state. It's a permanent stabilization in remembrance of who you truly are, of what is underneath everything, what is underneath this busyness of life, this existence, this creation, what is underneath? You. This is truly you. Coming home to this divine union, merging with totality. In the process, as you do that, as I'm guiding you inside of Sundari Temple, everything blossoms. You enter into a life of pleasure. There's so much focus on erotic activation and sexual activation and liberation, like opening the body, opening the pleasure body. You get to thrive in the most amazing relationships. You get to understand how to be magnetic and attract the right people, the right beloved, the right opportunities, the right situations. You also get to experience this total wealth which is what we are dedicating this week and the coming weeks to with embodied wealth running inside of Sundari Temple, you get to experience this life of prosperity, this life of pleasure, this life of satisfaction and fulfillment. But not because you are trying to micromanage your life and we are just trying to fix this kind of little problem here, little problem there, and shift a bit of the mindset and kind of coach through certain problems. This is boring to me. I love that there are so many people who are doing this, but when you enter my field, we go all the way. We go into this experience that you are eternal. And this is very hard to explain. The truth is, it's impossible to explain. It's only possible to experience. In the temple, that's where we're going all the way to the highest planes of existence, to the places where it's just a tiny, tiny little percentage of population of this planet will ever enter into those states, and permanently so. So in the process, you go through initiations, you go through activations, so much transmutation of heavy energy, ancestral energy, subconscious stuff. So much transmutation is happening and you become pure. And pure and pure and pure. And in that purity, you become a conduit. And then we can call this path a priestess path for women. Or it's actually just a path of serving love. It's a path of being a walking blessing, being a walking grace, being the embodiment of the divine. Every time before I speak, I ask God to speak through me. Every time before I do something, I ask to be used, I ask to be moved. And this is also so fascinating, is that the greatest fulfillment in this human life comes when we let go like this. The greatest things are done through us, not by us, not by the ones we've taken ourselves to be. And that's why in my life, the more I've surrendered in every single aspect of this life, the more I've surrendered, the more magic has come. So now is the most amazing time to enter Sundari Temple, because already tomorrow we are having the preparation work for embodied wealth, and then on Friday embodied wealth begins. And I am just so grateful to also hold my clients like this, that it's not just like you kind of come and you have this peak experience, because this will happen as we go through the modules of the program, and as there is this whole permission to open to wealth, you start to feel like you deserve on a deep cellular level, and that's how you get the wealth, that the people have only as much wealth as they believe that they deserve. And how to believe that you deserve, like just say, I deserve wealth, I deserve wealth. It's not gonna work. What's gonna work is when this is really, there is space for that, there is purity in you, the vibration in you that allows you to let this wealth flow through. And so there will be so much, the billionaire naps, the identity shifts, the creation of the wealth anchors in your life. Like, there will be so much. And I'm so grateful that I'm not just gonna hold you in embodied wealth, but we are continuing. And things will pop up inside of embodied wealth, and you will see that you will then want to do emotional mastery. You will then want to go deeper into sexual activation, because we're going to work with erotic embodiment inside of embodied wealth, and you will be like, ooh, I want more of that stuff. Because higher levels of wealth require that. They require your aliveness, and then you will be like, ooh, where can I get more of that stuff? And I'm like, yes, in June we have the Deep Feminine coming. Yes, and we have more programs, more processes on activating this receiving channel for you. And then you'll be like, oh, okay, I'm now ready for love. I'm like now ready to thrive in romance and sexuality. And yes, I got that covered too for you. So it's like, I'm not just going to give you like an orgasm and then drop you off. Sometimes it feels like this with those programs. It's like, whoa, this is amazing. there's a big breakthrough, and then it's like, okay, now we're done, bye. No, I'm not doing this. Inside of Sundari Temple, that's a cool thing. That yes, you get this massage, you get this washing by light of the temple, and we continue. And we continue, and we keep meeting regularly. We keep talking regularly. We have regular Q&A calls. We have regular practices that keep deepening this work for you, and you live it. You're not just like, oh, I had this experience once, it was nice. I cracked the code, yeah, I experienced unexpected cash flowing, and oh yeah, I sold my business unexpectedly for double the amount I thought I would. Oh yeah, and unexpectedly all these clients started coming in. Or even, if you don't have the business, what happened for some clients of mine is that it happens through the portal of their husband or partner, or like somehow wealth finds the way to you when you are open in the purity, in the availability for it. So that's what's happening this week. So I'd love for you to be with us. It's such an amazing time to be together. And it's also equinox. Yeah, tomorrow is equinox. So it's a very beautiful time to set the course of your life. This is the new year. Yeah, you can also see it as now is the new year. The whole calendar thing. Okay, whatever the resolutions you made there in the end of the last year. Now is the time to act, my love. So yes, if you are here for the big, for the total. And so that's what happens in the total. When you liberate yourself into this, like, I am not gonna be here and look at who did wrong to me and why I cannot have what I want to have, and why I felt so insecure, and how did the behavior of this person made me feel so insecure, and what are the red flags to watch out in relationships, and what are the kind of people to stay away from. This ends for you. This stuff simply stops existing. Even the stuff of like, well, my human design says that I need to wait before I take this decision. Even this ends. I know that this is a very comforting system, and there are many other comforting systems like this. It's also a comforting system to say, well, narcissists, toxic relationships, and then people start throwing it around. It was toxic, my ex was toxic, my ex did that, when this happened. These are all frameworks. They may be comforting when you've been really hurt. You may need some kind of stability, someone to tell you, to validate your feelings and to tell you, yes, this person was wrong. Or to tell you, yes, your human design says that you should be doing like this. Then you're like, oh, okay, I have a framework. I have a space around me that I can relax into. It's beautiful, It's not that there's anything wrong with that. However, I know that if you are here with me, you came here for something so much bigger. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. What do you think about that? Can we go there together? Honestly, like, I see in my career again and again that I have this pattern of like, that I stop speaking honestly what is true for me, because I feel that it's too much, that I can only talk about it in closed containers. I can only talk about it in the field mastermind, or that I can only talk about it inside of Sundari here, or with my private clients, or inside of my immersions, because I feel like it's like sometimes, I don't know what it is. Maybe some childhood stuff coming up for me. Or maybe it's just common sense that I know that the majority of population is not ready for this. They need the boxes. There needs to be stability. There needs to be certain integration of the personality, and beautiful. However, if you're still here, why are you quiet? I'm talking to you. Can we go to the places where there is no frame that holds you besides God? And this is not even a frame, because you recognize that you are one with it. What do you think? like, it's actually, there's no, you cannot be both, in a way. You know, you cannot be both. You cannot go like, okay, no, I will hold on to this safety. I will still hold on to this notion that someone did wrong to me and that my ex was narcissist and that's why I'm so traumatized, and my parents did wrong to me, and that or another frame that no, well, I have those kind of wounds and that's why I cannot have it, and that's why, well, she can have it because she's smart and everybody knows her and she has a big following. No, you cannot hold on to this if you want totality. If you want to go like, I have no center because my center is everywhere, that I am everything, I am one with all of it. There cannot be both. You see? There cannot be this sense of duality or even non-duality there, when you want to be the bigness that you are. So I was sharing this story about my ex-husband, bless him, because so many people brought so much hate to him. Oh my gosh, it's horrible. And to me, and oh my gosh. But the way I was sharing my experience, it's a video on my profile, on my Instagram profile, if you haven't seen. So the way I was sharing my experience, I was purely sharing my experience the way I see it, the way I've processed it. And for me, what is interesting in every experience in my life is what happened to me, who I have become through that experience. Why did I attract that experience? Also could be interesting sometimes, not always, but sometimes it's also interesting. What in me activated the field around me in this particular way that opened that possibility for me, and then who did I become through this experience? So that's the lens through which I shared the story. I shared, like, okay, he was sitting there with me, then the girl came, he was flirting with her, and then all my interest was on me, on how I felt, because I know that I entirely created that experience. If not for me, that experience would have never happened. I asked for it subconsciously, but I am so grateful I did, because I was in such a contraction. I was stuck in so much shame and so much insecurity. So it's like, but I was on this path of awakening, you know, already at that time. I asked to be replaced by God. I asked to be used by God. So I went on the path. I was like, purify me, cleanse me. No matter what comes my way, I know it is for me to be with you, to be with my eternal beloved. And so these experiences came. I was in that prayer already. And so I was sitting there like so miserable, but even like I was already miserable before, way before. That's why I created this whole setup, which is like horrendous setup. And some women said they would be screaming and stomping there at him. Others said, what a pig, he's a narcissist. They used some kind of terminology that this is what it was, and he manipulated me so that I break open and start crying. And it's like, beautiful humans, you are so beautiful. I love you so much. I love you so much. I honor this human experience so much in all its forms. And at the same time, my loves, like, there is so much more for us. There is so much more. It's so much more fun. It's so much more fun over here. It's so much more fun to see the reality for what it is, to see this matrix, to see what a game we are creating with every thought, with every our molecule, with every our like human stuff. You know, it's just every second you are creating reality. Every second you are manifesting. Every second. And it's all beautiful because we all are going home. That's where we've come from. That's where we're going. So this experience, it's like, it's so perfect. It's like so perfect. You look back and then you realize that, yes, I needed that. Because if not for that, the next thing would have never happened. And if not the next thing would have never happened. You know, with my ex-husband, at the time he was not my husband yet. But then, you know, after that experience, so I cracked my heart open. I started crying. I started feeling something. I could see how jealous I was, and how all my life I was so scared of that jealousy. I thought it's the worst thing a person can have, jealousy. And of course, jealousy is a chemical reaction, but at the same time, when we contract into that jealousy, then we just punish ourselves, we hurt ourselves so much, because we're constantly, jealousy is comparison, constantly comparing ourselves to others and always finding that others are better. That's what it is. It's just this abandonment of who we are, abandonment of the beauty, of the love that we are. This feeling that we can compete with someone. Who is there to compete to? You are me. How can I compete with you? I love you so much. How can I compete with you? Because you are me. Who is there to compete with? There's just one of us. There's just one. But this is forgetfulness. Major forgetfulness, greatest disease of our times. Forget all the pandemic. This is the pandemic. Forgetfulness. And so many thick layers that separate us from that unity. Unity with all. And so then, I could go on with that story because it's so beautiful. Because after that, so this whole love happened, and then we continued with different struggles where he wanted to be in an open relationship, I wanted to get married, and we kept going back and forth. I felt I didn't deserve to be married, and then I went somewhere and manifested a man who proposed to me like almost immediately once he met me, and then I broke up with this guy, and then there was this whole thing, and then we came back together, and then it's like everything changed, and then he introduced me to my main teacher, Samuel, and I'm forever grateful for Samuel, and it's like, it's so perfect, it's so beautiful. There's nothing to be resentful for, there's nothing to regret in this life, because it all is a snowball of beauty, and love. And so, this is one example, but then there have been other conversations. And so, here, so much to say. I have a good profession, I keep speaking, and I have so much more to say and express, and most importantly, guide you into, so that you experience that there is no narcissists out there. There's none. Because there's only one of us. So if you can recognize a narcissist, it's like you're recognizing those qualities in yourself. And that's why it hurts so much. So just love those qualities. And then maybe the hardest thing to love yourself, because to forgive yourself might be a really hard thing. But it's a holy work of art. And it will happen. It gets easier, really. And then, some other things about those decisions. I brought in this conversation around how the wealthiest and most successful people take decisions very fast. And then we had this conversation around but how does it go with human design? And is it right for everyone? Or is there a different way to wait and feel and trust? And here it's again, which level are we talking on? Because yes, there is this level on which you are in the process of returning to yourself, and different modalities will help with that, but then you have to drop the modalities. It's like my teacher Samuel said this always, that it's like every modality, every practice also is like a switch. You come into the room, it's dark, you switch on the light, you don't hold on to the switch. So you learn the system, don't hold on to the switch, the light is on. Go higher, let's go, let's dance, let's play now, it's okay, the light is on. Now you can let go, don't hold on. And so so it's like, okay, this is one level, but then when you go into those really high levels of wealth, it's about unity with wealth. You see, unity with all there is, unity with wealth. So that's why this wealth conversation is so important. My program Embodied Wealth is so important. And important precisely for that reason, that if we don't address it, there's so much contraction around money and wealth, just so much. And it seems to be so important. How much anxiety, how many people have anxiety around money? When the money is coming in, where it's coming in, is this project gonna work that you put on so much hope for? Like, why this person is not paying although they said they will, and you put so much focus, like, okay, I'll receive this payment and then I can do this cool thing I wanted, and then I can da. So much contraction, so much worry around that. But you truly are one with wealth. Can you accept that? Can you recognize that? Because when you do, you will see that there's infinite amount of wealth and you are one with it. Because you are infinite. And this gets to be your direct experience, and a very practical experience, that you literally experience it like that. That wealth is just coming. Money is just coming. It's coming beautifully. It's not that you are sitting there massaging your breasts and like visualizing, yes, come to me, money, come. Beautiful, do those practices. But again, remember, they're just a switch. So, or you're trying to shift your mindset. I have scarcity mindset. I need to shift it to abundance mindset. It's okay. We all will have scarcity thoughts. It's not closing your channel. You get to be a clear conduit. And that's what I see happened for me with my decision to be a conduit. I've become a conduit for myself, that I feel things are flowing through me, that I am directing my energy in the right way. Of course, I'm taking action. I'm taking the right action, not actually even a lot of action, I have to say, because a lot of people do a lot of different things, and that's when they exhaust themselves. But the importance isn't doing the right things. And so yes, I do the things, but these things are simply I move to do them through this realization of my conducivity. It's like I am being conducive and then I am being moved. So the cool thing about that is that I am a conduit not only for myself, but I am the conduit for everyone who comes anywhere close to my proximity. And things happen, like sometimes people sit with me on a call, like on a call they receive unexpected large amounts of money. Like during the call. It happened more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. It happened many times. Or right after the call, people unplug, client signed up. Unexpected. They're asking them, inquiring even. A person may not even have any offers. People are inquiring to work with them. And so this, because it's ours. It's us. Because there's only one of us. And so whatever I have, and whenever we come in unity together, in this love together, we open to each other, everything I am, everything I have is everyone's. Everyone's who is around me, everyone who dares to be close in this field of fire, because it is a field of fire, I have to say. Because yes, there are those initiations, there's this purification that has to take place. It's like you have to burn stuff that is not yours, that keeps you stuck, that keeps you in a cage. This has to go. This has to burn. And so this is also something that people experience in my field sometimes. That in the beginning, things might be like, even in my team, like in Sundari team, people come in and then they experience like, wow, things are changing in my life. Like, whoa. Maybe like, but they know what's happening and they want it and they are ready for it. And this is a blessing. It's such a beautiful blessing. So if you know that you resonate with my frequency, that you resonate with my field, take it as a sign from your heart. Trust your heart. Let yourself be moved by your heart. Come close. Come into Sundari Temple and you will see that things start to shift in your life. We are in this field it goes even beyond what we are doing together, the actual work you'll be doing, the actual practices I'll be guiding you through. It goes beyond that. You are held in the field of the temple. And again, it's a sacred place for you to remember the divine union. And so the wealth conversation is so important because of this contraction, that we have to come out of. As much contraction as you can undo in yourself, do it. My most successful clients, what I see they do, it's like they're like panthers. They're like, I see this thing. What? I got defensive, I got contracted there, I got like completely blocked over there, I am worried about this thing, I am dropping my frequency, I'm dropping my energy, I'm not vibrant, I'm not joyful, I'm not enthusiastic. What is going on? You know, like, because you get to live a life of like, you wake up full of joy, full of energy, you're like, this is my day, let's go. You go to bed full of gratitude. This gets to be your reality. You move through the day like that. You're not like, oh my gosh, again another day, and you are anxious in the morning and you don't know how to go through the day. And no, you have choices, and this gets liberated through you as this purification is happening. You have more access, more resources in yourself to choose how you are meeting this reality day by day, moment by moment. And so, like a panther, like, whatever is not serving me, whatever is not attuned, whatever is not aligned to this biggest, truest path I'm here to take, cha. I'm gonna break it all apart. And so, by the way, tell me how this is resonating with you, because I'm really open to have conversations today, by the way. You'll be welcome to comment if you have any questions on what I'm speaking about as well. So, but sometimes this happens also, like I see people get just very still and very quiet when we are together like this. This is also good, but let yourself receive it. So, this decisions thing, how do we take fast decisions? It's not that this impulsive thing of like, ooh, cool thing, okay, I'm gonna go get it, I'm gonna go buy this. Oh yeah, it's just a hit, and I know I have to trust the hit. Not even that. Not even that. It's more about who you are. When you exist in the field of trust, and you trust yourself, and you trust that you are moved by God, by the divinity, by the totality, by the love that you are. And higher levels of wealth actually involve that. It's like, it's a higher amount of energy to hold. It's a higher amount of energy to be conducive to. There's nothing personal about it. It's how much you are able to conduce so that it flows through you. Because oftentimes people receive a big amount of wealth. It can happen, like unexpectedly. But then if they are not trained, they will lose it right away. Like when I was growing up, my brother studied cinematography or script writing, and he worked in that kind of industry. And so I saw lots of kind of artists around us in his field. And then it was quite common that people would get like a payment for a movie that they would produce, and then straight away go and purchase a super fancy car and pay in cash. And then all the money is gone, and then they thought that once they have a cool car, then they will be having stronger authority and they will be having more jobs. But it doesn't work like this. It's not this intellectual game. It's not this mindfuck. It's actual honest work on expanding your energy field. That's why all the really wealthy people you see are strong, are vital. And the way I work with vital energy through erotic embodiment is the fastest way to activate your energy body, and in a specific way, not just self-pleasuring actually, not just having sex, particular way to move your energy, to dance with your energy, to flow with your energy, to direct your energy. There's a lot of specifics, a lot of details on how we activate the energy field. And then, yes, being in optimal physical shape is also really important. So that's where you are able to take those fast decisions, because your whole life is a big decision. Your whole life is arranged in a way that you know who you are and you know what is your yes. And your whole life is your yes. You are in a continuous yes. And this yes, by the way, don't take it for granted. Yes is a big thing. Learn your yes. Learn how it feels to say yes. Because there will be times in your life when you will need to find your yes. When it will feel like nothing makes any sense and you don't know who you are and you don't know where's your center and you don't know where all those switches you are used to hold, where all those models, where all those nice, comfortable boxes that have given you stability sometime in the past, all of that will vanish and you will be like, everything I learned, everything I've known myself to be is gone. In this moment, remember your yes. Remember how it feels. And that's the only thing to hold until even that you don't need to hold. And so your whole life gets to be this yes. This big, beautiful yes. And then you recognize the yes. That's how you take decisions very fast. Sometimes you may even take a decision very fast, but then you may just know that it's not the time. Although it's a yes, it's just like the time will fall into the picture, but it's a yes. And then once the time window opens, you just go without any hesitation. And that saves a lot of energy, because mental energy, when you think and you overthink and you ask for advice and you analyze, and it takes energy. This mental energy, it's like it drains you actually, where you could be focusing on expanding your energy channels, directing your energy into expanding your energy, directing your energy into focusing on being love, onto focusing on being wealthy. Actually, it's a good place to direct your energy. You drop the pettiness and focus on being wealthy. Because there's a lot of pettiness, you know, this whole thing of saying like, oh, well, those people they don't know how to use their money. She should be talking about that. Why did she have this reaction? This person is a narcissist. This is a waste of energy. It's a waste of energy. Criticizing others, gossiping about others, all this is a waste of energy, my friends. You have way better things to do with your energy. Way better things. Focus on becoming the divine love that you are. That's the best investment of your energy. Focus on creating the wealth. Creating the wealth from unity. Creating the wealth from the deepest truth. That's what wealth is. Kind of shiny stuff, you know, you can have all sorts of things, but it doesn't make you wealthy. There are lots of people who are really broke, who are really not wealthy. They have the money, but the way they feel about it, there's no yes in them. There's no gratitude. There's no life of fullness. There's no life of like, oh my gosh, what's here today? Another day, another fun thing to explore, another way to go deeper, another way to remember myself even more fully. Lots of people who have money don't have that. And that's not wealth. If you don't have that, you don't have wealth. Wealth has to come from inside, from living really deeply true to your highest integrity, to your highest values, to your highest truth. And then if you are worried about money, it's very hard to connect to your deepest truth, because you are occupied by anxiety. You are occupied by those patterns of your ancestry or whatever kind of patterns you've picked up. So inside of Embodied Wealth, we are also doing this fire ceremony, which is epic. It's like people have done just a fire ceremony inside of Embodied Wealth, and I used to do it pretty soon inside of the course, and then they manifested houses that were not available previously, like things just got released from their field. new things came. This is so powerful. When we come into ceremony in this way, it may not even look like a normal ceremony that you imagine, but big things drop in that space. And also what I'm doing so cool in Embodied Wealth this time, because it's going to be the third time that I run it, and each time I've run it in the past, it was always around this time. The first time I ran it right after I've crossed my first $1 million a year in business. I've crossed my first million, and still I was not sure how the new year gonna go. So I will share a module from that. So for Sundari Temple people, they will have some module from me in that time, because it may be really relatable with where you are in your journey, where you're like, there's a lot of things around like what I was like in those in the kind of the first, my first connection with bigger wealth. What was going on in my mind? What was important? What was I focusing on? So that may be very close and very relevant for where you're at. Then I will also add the module from last year, where I was just about to hit my multiple 7-figure year, just about to have a 6-figure day, a multiple 6-figure day, just about to have a $500,000 months. And that's also interesting, what state I was in, what was on my mind, what created that. And then I will also be, most of the program is from now, and it's a very, very different state where I'm at now, even compared to like a few months ago, half a year ago. And I'll be sharing the codes that I've accepted that I have, because lots of things I've had always, and just it took some time for me to accept them, to drop so much conditioning around how spirituality and wealth go together, for example, and how a spiritual mentor should live, should be, should speak. Yeah, like really entering into a completely new era of my liberation, and like liberation and wealth, therefore, as well. And so if you've done embodied wealth in the past, like, don't let yourself be limited by this. It's a completely different story now. It's a whole different story. Plus, as I said, I'm not just giving you a peak orgasmic experience and then dropping you. We are in it. We are in it. And some other things that we are doing inside of embodied wealth, besides stabilizing in the yes, in this expanse, in opening the energy body, in burning the stuff, burning the scarcity, burning the unconscious and old ancestral patterns, partnering with the unseen. I will really teach you how to be in a relationship with your subconscious mind, that it really serves you, that you do not waste your energy, even subconscious energy, on things you don't like. The time when we can come into connection with subconscious mind, most if you're not training it all the time, then it's in the dreams. And what kind of dreams do you have? If you have strange dreams, disturbing dreams, like, it says a lot about your actual state. So we're going to be partnering with it, and it's going to start working on you, and all the time. And you will see that you won't need to be doing affirmations or any kind of stuff that the kind of mainstream technologies are offering, but you will actually be doing very advanced work on your consciousness, really becoming infinite, really entering into divine union, really unplugging from the matrix, really unplugging from the three-dimensional reality where things are like this, linear, where you can go into unrealistic, extraordinary, out of ordinary, out of the realistic, out of the predictable, into cosmic. And that's where we soar. And it's real, and it works. And I see examples of how this work works every day with my clients. I don't even feel like I speak enough about the results of my clients, because there's just every day things are happening. And incredible invitations, incredible money, incredible relationships, incredible revelations, incredible state of being love, of being with the divine, being with the infinity, complete satisfaction, complete yes. This is normal in our field. So I wish that for you. Like truly, truly, deeply, deeply, deeply wish that for you. Because I know you are in resonance. You are here. You are tuned in. You are in resonance. This work is for you. So just listen to your heart. So I'd love to know how this lands. My audience who is online with me is completely quiet. I don't know if you are flabbergasted or they're sending hearts regularly. Or maybe just the comments are not showing up, I don't know. But yeah, I feel it's a very, or maybe you're just holding space and stillness and you're like, but I'd love to know in the comments, once I publish the live, please let me know what did you absorb from this? What are you doing with this information? If you are signing up for Sundari Temple, you can drop Temple and you will receive the information. You can also send me a DM saying Temple and come. On Wednesday, we begin preparation work, which is tomorrow. So we begin the prep work, already getting ready to open because it's going to be big. Yeah, we need to get ready for all this goodness, all this wealth that is about to enter your life and never leave. So we will be opening for that already tomorrow on our regular Sundari Temple call. And on Friday, we begin with the first module of Embodied Wealth. So thank you, beautiful, for being here. And I will see you very soon.